Hey everyone. So, really quick, I just want to jump into a video about why Loki killed Harold. There's tons of different reasons why. Obviously, we don't know the real reason why, but in the last two chapters, we've gotten a little bit of a hint, some sort of an inkling as to what went down. Hasrudin was about to go and try and kill Loki, and everyone stopped him, and Loki was like, "Give me a break." I didn't want to, you don't believe that I wanted to kill father, do you? And that alone set me off because I've obviously, if you've seen earlier videos on my channel, I've been going on the hype train that Loki is bad and not evil. A quick recap of that theory is just that all the stuff he did in his childhood, he's simply a misguided youth. All the stuff he did while rampaging at sea, again, misguided, probably hasn't had anyone around to stop him, and you got Shanks to stop you, and you maybe learned your lesson from there. But the night that Loki killed Harold. So there is a timeline to this. It's in my last video about Loki, but a quick recap of that, I believe, is he killed Harold 14 years ago, and 6 years ago he finally faced justice for it. They attempted to kill him, I think 2 or 3 years ago, back via crucifixion, and it didn't go so well. So it took all the warriors of Elbaf to restrain him, and because of that, he is now where we meet him for the first time, chained up to the Adam Tree. So my reasoning, my main reason I think that Loki killed Harold is I personally think that Harold is evil. The quick flash of what he looks like, I mean, he just looks evil. I'm sorry to judge a book by its cover, but like almost all the characters in One Piece that look evil are evil, and we have yet to have a character that like 100% looking evil isn't evil. Like you gotta prove me wrong on this one, because like, for example, Bellamy didn't really look evil until he started putting his tongue out and giggling, but like he doesn't necessarily scream evil. Like if you're just to show a picture of him to someone, and sure enough, later on down the line, he isn't evil anymore. He's reformed, sort of, kind of, and he's trying to, just make flags now, according to the latest cover story about him. So with Harold and Loki being two opposing forces, right? No one likes Loki, but everyone loved Harold. Harold wanted to unite Elbaf. He ripped off his horns, yada, 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 put on a whole show. I don't believe it, personally. I think that Harold did that as a show of good faith to make a front for people, to show people, look, guys, I took my horns off. I'm not a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, there is a summoning circle for the Holy Knights in the royal chambers. Why is that? Why did the Holy Knights a couple chapters further back than the chapters we're at now? I think like chapter 1143 or 1142, one of the, I think Saint Summers asks Saint Figurlin Shamrock, he's like, hey, are you here to visit Harold's grave? Why would he be here to visit Harold's grave? What about Harold is worthy of visiting his grave if you view the rest of the world as trash, right? So I think that because of that, Harold had some sort of dealing with the world government that was gonna happen until he was killed by Loki. Now, I don't know what that deal could be. Kids to Elbaf sent to the world government on a weekly, monthly basis, perhaps, or just, hey, we're gonna completely remove our army, we're gonna make our nation peaceful, we'll destabilize our military, blah, blah, blah. All that kind of stuff, because obviously the world government can't even, like, the world government best force we've seen so far, 100 battleships, 10 vice admirals in a Gorosei, and an admiral, could not stop a simple pirate crew of Vikings. None of these guys were using hockey, right? None of these guys, other than Dory and Bragi, none of them were using hockey. It was just some dudes. They were giant dudes, sure, but they were just dudes. Just like elbow dropping pirate ships and ripping them in half effortlessly. Like one of them, Dory or Bragi, whichever one uses the axe, just smacked the vice admiral like a wham, like nothing. Frankie one-shotted a vice admiral, sure, but you see what I'm saying? Like destabilizing the Elbaf military would help the world government tremendously, because obviously Elbaf is not going to stand for anything the world government wants to do with them. So if Harold was evil enough to want to try and have a relationship secretly with the world government, and Loki found out about it and they fought over it, that could be one of the reasons. Now, I won't go any further into that because I can just keep going about it, But reason number 2 is that Harold had Loki kill him. Not a big reason that a lot of people have been thinking about, And I don't think I've heard anyone bring it up, but think about it. If Loki did not want to kill Harold, what a better explanation to give than to explain it with, it was Harold's wish. You want to succeed me, son? You want to show me that you're worthy of ruling Elbaf? You want to show me this and that? You want to get the family devil fruit, the legendary devil fruit that I possess currently? Kill me. You're going to have to kill me. I want you to kill me, as a matter of fact. That's interesting. It holds a little bit of credence, because then it could still necessarily... it won't necessarily mean Loki is evil. Not going to bat for my theory here, but just saying it wouldn't necessarily make Loki evil, but it could still paint him as evil as hell in everybody's eyes, because he killed King Harold, and before he got a chance to defend himself, they kicked him off the island, or they attacked him and he had to leave, or simply Loki didn't explain himself, because Loki kind of seems like an ass, right? Like, again, I'm not saying that Loki's the best person ever. I'm not saying that he's a good person. I'm just saying that he's not an evil person. I don't think he has the destruction of Elbaf at his heart. When he says, I'm here to destroy the world, this and that, I think that's him leaning into the persona that the world of Elbaf, all the citizens and the kings and queens, all of them have given him that persona. And that's why Loki leans into it so hard. I am the one who will bring about the destruction of the world. I will devour the world, this and that. I think that's just him, like, this is what you made me type attitude, you know? And, you know, to further build on Harold could have made Loki do it, other than, you know, for succession or for the devil fruit, or just simply because he's weird and had a wish to die that way, maybe he bit off more than he could chew with the world government and couldn't stomach himself any further. He wanted to unalive himself, but he couldn't do it, so he had Loki do it for him. Does that make sense? And a third mysterious reason as to why Loki could have killed King Harold is because Ja Rule could have mandated it. Now, another way that this could have gone down, just simply stated, like, why wouldn't people talk about it right then and there when he did it? Well, Ja Rule had a freaking sword stabbed through his head, and then I assume that the night it happened, you know, he killed Harold, everyone discovered it, he fought all these giants, this and that. Maybe they just kicked him off the island immediately. You know, we don't know what happened that night afterwards, after killing Harold. You know, we know that he fought a bunch of warriors. We know that he fought King Harold, and somehow in that fight, Ja Rule ended up with a sword through his head. But we don't know why, right? Ja Rule could have dirt on Loki. Ja Rule could have strength that we don't know about, and he's just playing the fool. He could be the reason the summoning circle is in there. He could be the reason why Harold was evil, but I'm just simply posing it as a reason. Harold and Ja Rule might have been the only two people in the throne room when Loki entered it. Loki had XYZ reasons to enter the throne room. Hey, Dad, good night. Hey, Dad, I want to talk to you. Hey, Dad, does my hair look good? I just dyed it purple. Like, you know, there's so many reasons why Loki could just go to the throne room one night. Obviously, again, Loki is a bad person, but we don't know if he's evil. So yeah, in conclusion, to just recap my reasons really quick, I'm not trying to make this a long video. There are three reasons I think that Loki killed Harold. One, Loki found out that Harold was evil. It's my main theory. Two, Harold requested Loki do it for any amount of reasons. Maybe just simply to take the devil fruit to prove he's strong enough, or he messed up and didn't want to live to see his mistakes come true. And then third, Ja Rule has something to do with it, very, very much involved, and he either commissioned Loki to do it, or he egged on Harold to fight Loki, this or that. But maybe Ja Rule could be one of the main driving factors for Loki having killed Harold. So what do you guys think down below in the comments? Just let me know. If you have a different reason as opposed to the three that I've presented here, let's hear it. I'm down. I can make a response video to this and that. And as usual, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. The likes, the comments, the subscriptions. I'm almost to 700, so if you guys don't mind hitting the subscribe button, the likes, the comments, as one of my favorite YouTubers says, all that YouTube jazz, I would really appreciate it. I went to a con over the weekend last week, and I got the voice actress of Luffy to sign a straw hat. So I have a straw hat of the English voice actress of Luffy, and I thought I'd share that really quick. Plus, I got the live-action Mihawk to sign my Yoru sword. I had him say rabbits and frogs because I just love those lines from both the manga and the anime. And obviously the way he delivered it in the live-action, just, like, it just set a different level, right? And I don't know about you guys, but specifically Mihawk's live action actor, Stephen John Ward, genuinely, like, in my head, when I thought of a live action potential for Mihawk, he just looked like that. So then to see him become himself in the live action was magnificent. And I told him that in person, and he made a really intense face at me, and we stared at each other for an eternity. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. Merch Hunter Ricky here. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Comment down below, seriously, if you have any reasons or if you like my reasons. I would love to hear from you. Relevant links in the description. And see you guys Saturday for the Devil Fruit video. Sorry it took so long. I love you all. Bye.